It has to come a point where you question yourself and say, am I a piece of crap? Am I crazy? Am I even worth walking this earth? In my opinion, you have to ask yourself that if you get to the point where you shooting up a funeral procession. It was a lady killed. Actually, the sister of a person whose funeral it was that was killed. Imagine the trauma of this person's mother, family. They there to bury their son, and then the daughter get killed. Trap City Carter, we know him. He's a drill rap affiliate, part of Trap City. He was shot and killed, a little while ago, a couple weeks ago. He finally had his funeral. They had a funeral procession where it's a lot of cars be driving together. And this lady was gunned down, ambushed, stalked, hitman, and murdered.
Sealy, you can see it still shows some tire marks in the grass. You can still see that there's a lot of damage to this homeowner's property as well. And I think one of the saddest things that you find there still left behind is Romisha's shoe.
Hit the like button. Go on this video 1,000 likes, because we got to talk about this. Because in my opinion, you got to question yourself. I understand you tough as hell. You a tough guy. Don't nobody play with y'all. Don't nobody want no smoke. We know how you get down. We understand it. You super tough. You the big tough guy. You got the award, Tough Man of the Year. But you got to question yourself sometimes and say, is this really tough or is this mentally ill? Is this really don't mess around with my hood? Or is this I got something going on in my head? To want to shoot up a funeral procession is kind of sickening. You got to think about this. Trap City Carter was involved in a lot of street stuff. He was actually cool with Jeff and then became an oppa Jeff. Bloodhound Lil Jeff talked about how he took his watch. This guy talked about how Bloodhound took his watch. We all watched the interview that Trap City Carter was on, and the people around him, they were cracking jokes, showing how Lil Jeff died and all kind of stuff. So a lot of people put his death on the Bloodhounds. Even though, Carter family said Bloodhounds ain't had nothing to do with this, I don't think they're going to come to the internet and tell anyway. You get what I'm saying? What I can say is, to shoot up a funeral procession, it means you don't really care about life. I can see the funeral, shooting up the funeral, and that's sickening as it is anyway, because there's people, grandmas and all kind of stuff there. But, from a crazy person, maybe they see a bunch of young people outside with some rest in peace shirts on with their head cocked to the left like this, and they know they part of the gang, and people get retaliation, ride past and shoot up the funeral, blah 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 blah. That's crazy enough. But to shoot up a funeral procession that got old people riding in them cars, it got grandmas, it got mamas, it's kids, it's family members, to want to shoot that up. In my opinion, you got to question where your mental at. We understand you tough. We get it. You the big tough man. Don't nobody fuck with you. You tough. You'll beat everybody ass. We get it. But it's to a point where you got to say, this is past tough. This is almost crazy and deranged to want to do something like this. And the people in the hood who know whoever did this, I'm surprised y'all still let a nigga like that live in y'all neighborhood. Ain't nobody scared knowing that it's a serial killer in the neighborhood. Girlfriend giving him room and board, fucking this dude, all kind of shit probably. And he out here just spraying people, killed an innocent woman. This lady actually, was known on the internet for doing hair and stuff like that. Braids by Roe, She was well known as a person who do hair. She there to support her brother's funeral and end up losing her life. According to reports, she was driving in a car and a gunman just started blinking at her car. The police believe that she was targeted, especially out of this whole funeral procession, these cars driving and the sister get killed. She crashed into a car. Her gym shoe was still on the block when the police pulled up. I don't know how her shoe got on the block, but her shoe was on the block. This young lady was murdered. The police believe she was targeted. A lot of people don't feel it's a coincidence that, her brother's funeral was happening and they having a funeral procession, and out of everybody out there, the sister get killed. A lot of people feel like this is gang banging to its fullest. The police released an article on this and said this was in retaliation. Now, we don't know who retaliation this was, but Trap City Carter lost his life very violently. And about 13 days later, his sister was killed. You know, so this murder stuff is getting out of hand. I don't know whoever did that, but when you kill a person in front of a funeral home, especially the sister of a person and the person whose funeral it was a gangbanger, you know, you raise your hand and get in the eye of the FBI. Whoever did that won a first class trip to the FBI being in their business. You know, you kill a person in front of a funeral, especially a lady, it's different from killing a reckless gangbanger. You know, you kill an innocent woman in front of a funeral procession, the FBI get to looking into that case. You know, so whoever did that probably ain't gonna be on these streets too long. Normally, cases like that, when it's real reckless and bogus and grimy to innocent people, normally somebody will tell on you. You know, you see a lot of people saying stuff like, since Bloodhound Lil Jeff died, it has been a lot of murders. The police believe it's a war between the Bloodhounds and Trap City. We didn't see Jeff killed. We didn't see Lil Scoon killed. We didn't see other people cool with Blood Jeff now get killed. Recently, we didn't see, you know, a lot of Trap City members lose their lives, you know. And then those two, with Carter and his sister. And think about it, the guy who they say killed Bloodhound Lil Jeff, he still, you know, he nothing happened to him. He's actually locked up right now. The guy who killed Bloodhound Lil Jeff, Trap City Rob, he's actually locked up on an armed habitual case. So the police been watching him, you know, and he caught an armed habitual. I guess he had several gun cases. So he's fighting an armed habitual, the same kind of crime that FBG Butter is facing right now. The armed habitual. We actually seen Big P face that crime too in O Block. That's actually A-Roy brother who lost his life. His brother Big P is locked up right now in an armed habitual. So, you know, these armed habituals is taking street dudes out this stuff, man. So, you know, a lot of people are shocked that it's all these murders happening and Rob's still walking around. Even though he locked up, he's still, you know, living. And it's a lot of people has took deaths since Bloodhound Lil Jeff died. Not to link this murder in, but just to tell you that, you know, it's a real war going on. Trap City Carter family says that the Bloodhounds had nothing to do with this. You know, I don't know if they saving face or if they really telling the truth, but this lady was stalked, murdered, killed, and ain't had nothing to do with that shit, man. You know, I understand y'all tough. We get you tough. Niggas don't mess with me, boy. We go sliding and we kill it. We do what we gotta do. But you gotta question yourself sometimes and say, is this really tough? Is this really y'all don't want to mess with us? Or is this mentally ill, deranged, killing innocent people? God not gonna like this. Get what I'm saying? Subscribe to my YouTube channel, it's telling the truth.